Hello guys! Welcome back to Top 10 Republic. The Philippines' position as an island country on the Pacific Ring of Fire and close to the equator makes the country prone to earthquakes and typhoons. The most frequently impacted areas of the Philippines by tropical cyclones or typhoons are northern and central Luzon and eastern Visayas. Here are the top 10 powerful and costliest typhoons on record to make landfall across the Philippines. Top 10. Typhoon Frank, with international name Typhoon Fengshen. It was formed on June 17, 2008 and dissipated on June 27, 2008, with a total fatalities of 1,371 deaths and 87 missing. The following areas are affected: Palau, Philippines, Hong Kong, Macau, Guangdong, China. Typhoon Fengshen, known in the Philippines as Typhoon Frank, was the sixth named storm and the fourth typhoon recognized by the Japan Meteorological Agency. According to the NDCC situation report on Typhoon Frank, affected 4,784,634 persons all over the Philippines. Damages in agriculture amounted to almost 7.54 billion pesos, while infrastructural losses made it to around 5.98 billion pesos, which all in all totaled to slightly more than 13.53 billion pesos or 480 million US dollars. The most affected areas were Iloilo, Capiz, Aklan, and Antique, in Panay Island as well as Leyte and Eastern Samar in Region 8. Top 9. Typhoon Lando, with international name. The Joint Typhoon Warning Center assessed Lando to have been a Category 4 equivalent super typhoon with 1-minute sustained winds of 240 km/h. The storm caused tremendous structural damages in coastal provinces, with thousands of structures damaged or destroyed. Prolonged heavy rains, peaking at 1,077.8 mm in Baguio, exacerbated the storm's effects and resulted in widespread flooding. 62 people were killed across the country and more than 100,000 others were displaced. Total damages is amounted to 14.4 billion pesos or 313 million US dollars. Top 8. Typhoon Pedring, with international name Typhoon Nesat. Formed on September 23, 2011 and dissipated on September 30, 2011, with a total fatalities of 98 persons and total damages of 2.12 billion US dollars. Typhoon Nesat, known in the Philippines as Typhoon Pedring, was the most powerful tropical cyclone to directly impact China since 2005. It also struck the Philippines during the 2011 Pacific typhoon season, killing 83 people. Pedring made landfall in the Philippines as the most devastating typhoon in 2009 Pacific typhoon season with a damage of 1.09 billion US dollars and 747 fatalities. Among the hardest hit provinces were Isabela and Aurora, where most of the population was directly dependent on agriculture. Pedring approached China just one day after the preparations for it started. Because of the low strength of the storm, the damages from Pedring to China were expected to be near 50 million US dollars. The typhoon then hit Vietnam and weakened into a tropical storm. The total areas affected are Philippines, China, Hong Kong, Macau, Malaysia, and Vietnam. Top 7. Typhoon Rolly, with international name Typhoon Goni. It was formed on October 26, 2020 and dissipated on November 6, 2020, with a total fatalities of 26 deaths and 6 missing, and total damages amounting to 369 million US dollars. Super Typhoon Rolly was extremely powerful tropical cyclone that made landfall as a Category 5 equivalent super typhoon on Catanduanes in the Philippines and became the strongest landfalling tropical cyclone on record by 1-minute winds, eclipsing the previous record held by Haiyan and Meranti. Goni maintained Category 5 strength for over a day before making landfall on Catanduanes at peak intensity with 10-minute sustained winds of 220 km/h and 1-minute sustained winds of 315 km/h. It was the strongest tropical cyclone observed worldwide thus far in 2020 and one of the most intense tropical cyclones on record. In all, the typhoon killed at least 25 people and cost at least 17.9 billion pesos or 369 million US dollars worth of damages. The COVID-19 pandemic has also been a concern for people in evacuation centers. The total areas affected are Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos. Top 6. Typhoon Pepeng with international name Parma. It was formed on September 27, 2009 and dissipated on October 14, 2009 with a total fatalities of 500 people and total damages amounting to 617 million US dollars. Parma made its landfall at northeastern Cagayan at 3 o'clock p.m. In Cagayan, at least 6,036 people in 39 barangays were affected, while 20.33 million pesos worth of agricultural produce were destroyed. Due to heavy downpour, major floods and landslides were extremely experienced at the northwestern part of the Philippines. It caused major flooding in Tarlac, eastern and central Pangasinan, as well as Nueva Ecija. Floodwaters were observed in some areas in Metro Manila and Calabar Zone. The Laguna de Bay broke its 90-year record in meters of water, which threatens to submerge more areas in Metro Manila. In Benguet, a landslide killed at least 200 as Tropical Depression Pepeng continues to bring rain across northern Luzon. In all, the typhoon killed at least 500 people and cost at least 27.3 billion pesos or 581 million US dollars worth of damages. The total areas affected is Caroline Islands, Philippines, Taiwan, China, and Vietnam. Top 5. Typhoon Ompong with international name Mangkhut. It was formed on September 6, 2018 and dissipated on September 17, 2018. With the total fatalities of 134 people and total damages amounting to 3.77 billion US dollars. Typhoon Ompong was an extremely powerful and catastrophic tropical cyclone that caused extensive damage in Guam, the Philippines, and South China in September 2018. It was the strongest to make landfall anywhere in the Philippines since Haiyan Yolanda in 2013. Ompong was also the strongest typhoon to affect Hong Kong since Ellen in 1983. It made landfall in the Philippine province of Cagayan late on September 14 as a Category 5 equivalent super typhoon and subsequently impacted Hong Kong and southern China. Ompong left behind a trail of severe destruction in its wake. The storm caused a total of $3.77 billion in damages across multiple nations, along with at least 134 fatalities, 127 in the Philippines, 6 in mainland China, and 1 in Taiwan. The total areas affected are Guam, Northern Mariana Islands, Philippines, Malaysia, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau, South China, and Vietnam. Top 4. Typhoon Glenda with international name Glenda. It was formed on July 9, 2014 and dissipated on July 20, 2014 with the total fatalities of 222 people and total damages amounting to 8.03 billion US dollars. Glenda was one of the only 2 Category 5 super typhoons on record in the South China Sea. Glenda had destructive impacts across the Philippines, South China, and Vietnam in July 2014. At least 90% of the total residents of Metro Manila lost power as poles were toppled and lines down. Strong winds from the storm destroyed several homes in the slums. Most of the capital area was also completely shut down. In total, Glenda killed 106 people and caused a damage up to 38.6 billion pesos and 885 million US dollars in the Philippines. The areas affected are Caroline Islands, Mariana Islands, Philippines, South China, Hong Kong, Macau, and Vietnam. Top 3. Typhoon Pablo with international name Typhoon Bopha. It was formed on November 25, 2012 and dissipated on December 9, 2012 with a total fatalities of 1,901 people and a total damages amounting to 1.16 billion US dollars. Typhoon Pablo was the strongest tropical cyclone on record to ever affect the southern Filipino island of Mindanao, making landfall as a Category 5 super typhoon with winds of 175 meters per hour. The typhoon had affected more than 213,000 people, demolished houses, stranded people in two Mindanao regions and parts of the Visayas region. In the Philippines, the death toll reached 1,067 people, with most of the southern island of Mindanao where floods and landslides caused major damages on December 4, 2012. A total of 834 people remain missing, about half of them are fishermen. Damage to agriculture and infrastructure in Compostela Valley province could reach at least 4 billion pesos, equivalent to $98 million, with the typhoon destroying 70% to 80% of plantations, mostly bananas for export. The total areas affected are Federated States of Micronesia, Palau, and Philippines. Top 2. Typhoon Ondoy with international name Typhoon Ketsana. It was formed on September 24, 2009 and dissipated on September 30, 2009, with total fatalities of 710 people and 37 missing, with total damages amounting to $1.09 billion. Tropical Storm Ondoy was the second most devastating tropical cyclone of the 2009 Pacific typhoon season. It was the most devastating tropical cyclone to hit Metro Manila, surpassing Typhoon Patsy or Yuling in 1970. President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo declared a state of calamity encompassing most of Luzon after at least 86 people were initially reported dead in landslides and other incidents. Floodwater levels reached a record 20 feet in rural areas as of October 24, 2013, and at least 464 deaths in the Philippines were officially recorded from the typhoon. The areas affected are Philippines, China, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, and Thailand. Top 1. Typhoon Yolanda with international name Typhoon Haiyan. It was formed on November 3, 2013 and dissipated on November 11, 2013, with the highest 10-minute sustained wind 230 km per hour and 1-minute sustained winds 315 km per hour, with the total fatalities of 6,352 confirmed and 1,701 missing, with the total damages of $2.98 billion. Areas affected are Micronesia, Philippines, South China, Vietnam, and Taiwan. Super Typhoon Yolanda was one of the most powerful tropical cyclones ever recorded in the whole world, caused catastrophic damage throughout much of the islands of Leyte, where cities and towns were largely destroyed. By April 17, 2016, NDRRMC confirmed 6,300 fatalities across the country, 5,902 of those taking place in the eastern Visayas, and total damages were estimated at 95.48 billion pesos or $2.2 billion. At the same time, it was estimated 1-minute sustained winds at 315 km per hour, making Haiyan or Yolanda as one of the strongest tropical cyclone ever observed based on wind speed. Yolanda is also tied with Meranti in 2016 and Rolly in 2020. The typhoon caused catastrophic destruction in the Visayas, particularly on Samar and Leyte. According to UN officials, about 11 million people were affected and many were left homeless. And just currently, Typhoon Vamco, known in the Philippines as Typhoon Ulysses, is currently a rapidly intensifying and powerful Category 4 equivalent typhoon, which earlier made a destructive landfall in the Philippines. As of November 16, 2020, the NDRRMC in the Philippines reported 73 validated deaths with another 19 missing caused by the typhoon. The typhoon cost 7.97 billion pesos or $165 million worth of damages. Over 107 individuals required rescuing as over 105 areas including experienced heavy flooding, mostly in Isabela and Cagayan Valley. Due to the vast areas affected, the final cause of the damages caused by Typhoon Ulysses we'll put him into one of the top 10 of our list. And those are the top 10 powerful and costliest typhoons that struck Philippines. Thank you for watching. Don't hesitate to send us your suggestions on what do you want us to feature on our next videos. Please write it down on the comment section below. Please kindly support our channel and don't forget to share, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button for you to be informed on our next interesting and educational videos here at Top 10 Republic, where you will enjoy learning things while watching.